Tonight on Newswatch, the Clintons on Capitol Hill grilled about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, what lawmakers are hoping to learn from the high-profile couple. Plus, a major vote at the State House, the impact it could have on the next time you cast a ballot. And in sports, the Ohio women's basketball team is going back to Cleveland. Why Bob Bolden thinks his team could punch their ticket to the big dance. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Parker Davis. Welcome to Newswatch. Two people are facing serious charges following one of the largest ever fentanyl busts in Ohio. The Central Ohio Major Drug Interdiction Task Force seized 44 pounds of fentanyl in Madison County. Street value of the fentanyl recovered is $800,000, equating to nearly 10 million doses. The Ohio State House overwhelmingly votes to ban ranked choice voting in local elections. Senate Bill 63 passed in the Ohio Senate by a 27-5 vote and now heads to Governor DeWine's desk for approval. Ranked choice voting allows voters to rank candidates in order of preference, a practice that some say disrupts election integrity. The bill has faced some pushback from Democrats who say local governments should be allowed to determine their own election systems. A statewide fund for stadium projects has received $200 million more in funding requests than it currently has budgeted. New documents show 22 requests totaling near $690 million in requests versus the $400 million allotted for the project. The largest request coming from Hamilton County for nearly $235 for the renovation of Paycor Stadium, home of the Cincinnati Bengals. It's not clear what happens next or when the organizations will decide which gets money. It was nice to see the sun shining today. We're going to hand it over to forecaster Tyler Zyro to see if it's here to stay.
Yeah, temperature is a little bit cooler today than we saw yesterday, but the sunshine was definitely out today. Currently in the Athens area, we're seeing things hovering around that 40 degree, but we did see temperatures today around the mid-40s today with that sunshine, which felt pretty nice, that sunshine warming things up a little bit. But this morning we did see a little bit of rain-snow mix overnight into this morning, but that is all cleared out by now, and we've been sitting with these sunny skies today. As we look to this evening, though, we're seeing our temperatures still pretty cool, so if you have plans tonight, things around freezing, so make sure you're grabbing your jackets if you have any plans. But as we head into tomorrow, we do have the potential for a little bit of freezing fog tomorrow morning in very limited areas. It's a very slight chance, but could happen. But with that, temperatures tomorrow warming up as we see things up into the 50s. So stick around to see if this warm weather will continue as we head into the beginning of next week.
Thank you, Tyler. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spending the day on Capitol Hill where she was grilled by lawmakers about her ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in a deposition behind closed doors. Clinton denying any knowledge of Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal activities, expressing horror about what she learned about them. Clinton not accused of any wrongdoing, and lawmakers say the panel is just looking for information into the investigation of Epstein.
The Democrats voted to subpoena the Clintons. The Democrats voted with the Republicans to hold the Clintons in contempt. So the Democrats have just as many questions for the Clintons as the Republicans. So this isn't a partisan witch hunt.
Former President Bill Clinton scheduled to sit for his own deposition tomorrow. He, too, is not accused of any wrongdoing. 261 recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, known as DACA, have been arrested. In a letter to Congress, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said 241 of the 261 arrested had criminal histories and that 86 were deported. The Obama-era program protects undocumented immigrants who were brought to the U.S. as children. Senators Dick Durbin, Mark Kelly, and Alex Padilla issued a joint statement calling for Noem to provide a full account of the arrests and deportations. 4 Cuban nationals are dead and 6 more are hurt following a gunfight near the northern border of Cuba. The country says the men were trying to infiltrate the island. As Michael Yoshida reports, both Cuba and the U.S. are investigating.
A deadly gunfight in the waters off Cuba near Falcones Cay on the northern side of the island. In a statement, Cuba's saying border guard troops approached a speedboat after it entered territorial waters, and someone from the speedboat fired at Cuban forces, who then returned fire, wounding its commander. Cuba said its forces killed 4 people and injured and detained 6 others. The country's interior ministry saying the passengers of the speedboat, which was registered in Florida, were Cuban residents in the U.S. and heavily armed with guns and Molotov cocktails, alleging they were trying to infiltrate the island for, quote, terrorist purposes. The incident happened just over 100 miles from Florida. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying the vessel was not a U.S. government operation, and the U.S. will do its own investigation.
Suffice it to say, it is highly unusual to see shootouts. It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time. But we're going to find out. We're not going to base our conclusions on what they've told us.
Florida officials calling for answers and accountability.
I don't trust the Cuban government in anything. I don't trust anything that they say. Their story has already changed, and so we need to find out exactly what happened.
We have got to know what happened from an international perspective and a diplomacy perspective.
The shootout comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Cuba after the U.S. ousting of Cuba ally and Venezuela leader Nicolas Maduro in January. The Trump administration has focused on the island nation, crippling its economy with an oil blockade, which it eased slightly Wednesday, along with talks of regime change. Michael Yoshida reporting.
Coming up, we're into week 4 of the search for Nancy Guthrie. Ahead, the $1 million reward her family hopes leads to answers. And the trend of clean eating could lead to serious issues. How to make sure a healthy habit doesn't become a dangerous obsession.
As we see our temperatures cooler today than it was yesterday, we're looking at a warm-up as we head into tomorrow. Stick around to see if things continue into next week.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
There's much about me that you don't know. It's quite the adventure. Shall we?
Downton is a great house, and the Crawleys are a great family.
Do you know the new heir? He's Robert's third cousin.
I thought Lady Mary was the heir.
Girls can't inherit. Don't you care about Downton?
I've given my life to Downton.
I won't let them change me.
Why are you so against him?
He isn't one of us.
Welcome to Downton.
In the spring of 1971, there was so much that was altered.
The new rules will be phased in from this year.
There was rage.
We know our rights.
And there was love.
You have a little girl.
And we marched together.
Quite something, isn't it, sister?
It is the future.
Some good news for potential homebuyers. More houses are predicted to hit the market in the spring compared to years past. Jen Sullivan has a look at what you need to know if you're hoping to buy.
It's been a slow start of the year for the housing market. Existing home sales dipped in January, but as the spring market begins, the National Association of Realtors expects sales to pick up.
More buyers coming into the market, more sellers trying to get into the market. So much more robust activity during the spring buying season.
Lawrence Yoon with the National Association of Realtors says the last few years have been tough for potential buyers because fewer homes were coming on the market and there were a lot of interested buyers. That drove up prices and created bidding wars. but he predicts that will start to shift.
We'll see more supply on the market.
Prices, though, have yet to come down. Last month, the median existing home sale price was just under $397,000, according to the NAR, and Yoon doesn't expect those numbers to come down anytime soon. But mortgage rates have come down, and he says that will help make homes more affordable. As of last week, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was 6.01%, according to Freddie Mac. A year ago, it was 6.85%. And there's other good news.
In many markets, people's income is beginning to outpace home price growth, so that is also helping on the affordability.
There is some concern that the drop in mortgage rates could cause a surge in potential buyers flooding the market. That's why Yoon says it's important to make sure you're in a good position to make a competitive offer when you do find the right home.
It's a long process to be prepared, get the mortgage applications corrected, trying to find the right home. So it's a multi-month process.
Yoon recommends having enough cash to make a 3 to 20% down payment, get pre-approved for a mortgage, and make sure your credit score is good. The better the score, the lower your mortgage rate will be. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Okay, Tyler, when I woke up this morning, I looked outside, it was snowing, and then later on my walk to class, full sunshine. It felt like almost like a spring day. What's going on with that?
Yeah, we've been changing a little bit. Yesterday, temperatures a little bit warmer than what we were seeing today, but that sunshine did start to poke out. We saw a little bit of snow, was in our area this morning, but all that cleared out by midday. And now we're just seeing sunshine. Things were feeling pretty good today. Pretty spring-like. Yeah. That's what I was feeling.
Absolutely. March around the corner. I'm like, let's hope the consistency stays.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. But as we look at our temperatures over the last 24 hours in the Athens area, we're seeing things yesterday a little bit warmer as we saw things in the mid-50s. But as we look towards today, we saw things more this morning pretty chilly, around freezing, as we saw that snow this morning. But we did see our highs today around the mid-40 range. But we did see those sunny skies today, which did make things feel a lot warmer, much more spring-like. But as we head into what things are looking like this evening, we're seeing things hovering around that freezing range with things around the 30-degree mark, mostly clear skies overnight. So should feel still pretty cool. So if you do have any plans tonight, make sure you're still grabbing that jacket because those cold temperatures overnight are still sticking around. As we look at our nationwide temperatures, though, we're seeing a warm up in our area, that's for sure, and that's happening to a lot of places below us also because we're getting some south winds, and that's bringing some warm air up from the south, from the Gulf, bringing it into our area, warming up our temperatures, which has been feeling pretty nice. I've been enjoying the warmer weather. But as we look at our next 3 days, we do see the potential for a little bit of freezing fog, which is a very rare occurrence. It would be very limited even if we do see it tomorrow morning. That just means that any fog in the air does have the potential to freeze on contact with any surface, but it's very unlikely that we do see anything of that sort tomorrow morning. So most of us don't have to worry about that. However, we do see our temperatures tomorrow taking a big jump. We saw things in the mid-40s today, but tomorrow we're looking to get up closer to the 60 range. Upper 50s likely for tomorrow. And with that, after that fog clears out, we will be seeing some sunny skies, so that sunshine will also be making it feel nice and warm. But as we head into Saturday, we're going to see our temperatures continue to rise as we see things up likely in the mid-60s by midday Saturday with partly sunny skies. Definitely feeling a lot like spring. I'm excited to enjoy my weekend with that warm weather, but unfortunately, that warm weather is not here to stay forever as we head into Sunday. Those temperatures dropping back down into the mid-40s. And as we head from Sunday into Monday morning, we're looking at the potential for some snow-rain mix heading into our area overnight. But additionally, when we see the storm forming and heading our way, we're seeing a little bit of pink on the map in our area. And what that means is we do have the potential for some freezing rain, just meaning as you look towards the sky, we see rain falling down, but temperatures at the surface are cold enough where that rain will instantly freeze on contact. And what that can do is stick to power lines, stick to trees, and make things fall. Also, that can make the roads quite slick. It's not 100% sure we'll see any of it, but if we do see any at all, it does have the potential to be detrimental to the roads, to power lines, trees, and such. But even if we don't see any freezing rain, likely to see at least a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow as we head in from Sunday into Monday. But looking at our 7-day forecast, we're seeing those warm temperatures through Saturday with those sunny skies making it feel really nice. Enjoy that weekend. But by Sunday, we do see that drop in temperature. then we're looking at that possible rain-snow mix, possibly freezing rain as we head into Monday, with our temperatures dropping a little bit. But as we continue to mid-next week, we're going to see our temperatures mild out a little bit as we're going to hop back into the mid-50s. And possibly for next Thursday, we do see the potential for us jumping back up into the mid-60s. However, we will be seeing some chances of rain with that.
Thanks, Tyler. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, has been missing for nearly a month. Bree Binion has the latest on the investigation into her apparent abduction.
We saw that they were there for a while. They were inside the house. They were walking around the perimeter.
A flurry of activity Wednesday at the home of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, well into the fourth week of the search for the missing 84-year-old, who authorities believe was abducted from her home just hours after she was last seen on January 31st. The activity at the home by apparent investigators Wednesday was the most seen at the residence in several days, though it wasn't clear who the individuals were affiliated with or what prompted the action.
You know, this could be routine. I wouldn't read into this action being a reaction to any of the tips from last night.
Those tips pouring in after Savannah Guthrie posted a video Tuesday announcing an increased reward of up to $1 million for information leading to her mother's recovery.
You're going to bring out that broad net, and you're trying to bring as many fish in to try to see which one will take in.
The increased reward led to hundreds of new leads. A source close to the family says the new reward was offered in consultation with law enforcement.
This isn't for the abductor. This is for someone who's in the abductor's orbit, a friend, a colleague, an associate.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The president and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Birga Brenda, is stepping down after an independent investigation into his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Recently released documents show Brenda had attended 3 business dinners with Epstein, as well as exchanged emails and texts. Brenda denies that he knew of Epstein's criminal activity at the time. There's no indication of wrongdoing, and the investigation concluded there were, quote, no additional concerns beyond what was previously disclosed. The World Economic Forum says Alois Winge will serve as interim president and CEO. A recall alert for you tonight. Check your fridge. 3 types of cottage cheese sold under Walmart's Great Value brand are being recalled. The cheese's manufacturer voluntarily recalled the cheese after discovering an issue in the pasteurization process. The affected products were sold between February 17th and 20th in 24 states. If you have these products in question, do not eat them and return them to Walmart for a refund. According to the FDA, there are no reports of illness or hospitalization connected to the recall. There's a new warning out tonight about an eating disorder caused by an obsession with clean food, and experts say it's becoming more common. Mandy Gaither reports on the dangers and warning signs of orthorexia.
It's a pillar of good health. Eating clean, whole foods is good for your body. But when what you eat becomes an obsession, that persistent preoccupation can turn perilous.
We can't say that social media causes orthorexia, but it absolutely can add fuel to the flame.
Psychologist Casey Goodpaster with Cleveland Clinic says orthorexia is a disordered eating pattern that's becoming more common. As people scroll their phones, they're constantly getting fear-based nutrition advice.
People who have anxiety or perfectionistic tendencies, that can really put them at risk for developing a full-blown eating disorder.
It may start with a desire to be healthier, but Goodpaster says over time, food rules become more strict and lead to the elimination of entire food groups, guilt or anxiety over eating food deemed off the plan, avoiding social situations that involve food, and spending excessive time either researching or preparing meals. She says all this can lead to nutrient deficiencies, hormonal changes, fatigue, even bone loss or other medical conditions. It can also lead to isolation.
When food rules start to dominate people's lives, relationships, and other meaningful experiences can begin to take a backseat.
If you suspect a loved one has an unhealthy eating pattern, she says to have a compassionate conversation and encourage them to seek help.
Healthy nutrition should support your life. It shouldn't make you feel anxious, isolated, or pressured to eat perfectly.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
For the Ohio women's basketball team, despite an overtime loss.
a female gorilla and her newborn. The arrival of her baby is the start of a new chapter, parenthood. Her journey will be challenging, but success for her and for all parents has the greatest of consequences. It ensures the future of life on our planet.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Hiding right under our noses, there are secret worlds that come to life. Now, on this rapidly changing planet, discover how people are finding new ways to live alongside nature. That could help the next generation create real change. A shared planet is a better home for all of us.
Regardless of your stage of life, whether you're starting your first job, getting the keys to a new home, or enjoying retirement, it's never too early or too late to create an estate plan to care for loved ones and support the causes that are meaningful to you. WOUB Public Media is pleased to have partnered with Giving Dogs, a free resource for building an estate plan that fits your needs and protects the people and causes you care about. Visit WOUB.org and click the support tab to get started today.
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it.
Welcome!
Whoa, Nelly!
Let's set this palace
On fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
Oh.
Fasten your seatbelt.
I love it.
I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
Grant Kiefer. College basketball's postseason. It's right around the corner, and Ohio's women's basketball hasn't really been accustomed to participating in these last few seasons. They've missed it the last two of the last 3 years. It's official now. They're not missing it in 2026. However, the Bobcats still suffered a loss last night. Coming into last night, either a win or an Eastern Michigan loss would secure Ohio's spot in the MAC tournament, and the Bobcats got in because of the EMU loss. Bowling Green came into the convo last night, also looking to string together some wins to secure their spot. Came out with a 60-56 OT win. Head coach Bob Bolden says all of Ohio's usual problems came out last night.
So I hope that maybe we can clean some things up. I think rebounding has gotten better. Turnovers still have not, and you just can't win. You just can't win basketball games turning the ball over as much as we turn it over and shooting it as poorly as we've shot it the last two games.
All right, now just like on the men's side, Miami sitting at the top. You can also see Bowling Green right there on the cut line, just a half game ahead of that 8th and final spot. One win secures their spot too. Ohio sits at 5th, but it's a tough close to the season with Ball State, Eastern Michigan, and Miami to wrap it up. Saturday's road contest against Ball State, set for 1 p.m. on ESPN+. High school basketball's postseason's also in full swing now, with many Tri-Valley Conference teams beginning their playoff runs this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at Trimble tonight. They are taking on Notre Dame. Notre Dame and Trimble, they played a classic just a few years back. That was 2 years ago in the convo. Trimble won that one 49-48. Notre Dame's been stellar this year, though, at 16-5. Let's go ahead and head out to our other game tonight. All the way out in Highland County, 14-seeded Federal Hocking is a huge underdog against the 3-seeded Fairfield Lions. Fairfield made it to the convo last year before falling to South Webster and have returned most of that same team. Moving to tomorrow night's games, it's a TVC Hocking showdown in the playoffs. 9-seeded Belpre taking on 8-seeded Waterford. These two split the season series this year. Waterford took the first, Belpre took the latest. Waterford's one of the hottest teams in the conference right now, though. The Wildcats won 9 out of 10 before dropping back-to-back games recently. We're going to go ahead and close this one out with Colton Lloyd and the Eastern Eagles. They've got an upset on their minds as they head out to Huntington and Chillicothe for their first playoff game. Eastern hasn't won a game since January 30th, since they beat Fedhawk. Can they stop the losing skid against the SVC's 4th place team? That's all we've got tonight, but there's plenty more basketball coming up this weekend. Let me tell you, for coverage of Ohio men's basketball senior day against Toledo, go ahead and follow @Bobcat Showcase on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure to catch Hardwood Heroes at 11 p.m. on Sunday night for recaps of every single playoff game in the TVC. Let's go ahead and send it back to Parker.
Thanks, Grant. Still ahead, a legal fight over a license plate. The road trip advance that got lawyers involved.
Rajiv Nagaich is an elder law attorney, author, radio personality, and retirement planning visionary.
Imagine waking up tomorrow with the peace of mind that comes from knowing that you've actually taken control of your future.
He's the architect of life planning, which has transformed the way millions of people think about, plan for, and experience retirement.
It's about having a documented plan that honors who you are and what matters to you.
Tuesday at 9:30 on W.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest until this happens.
Free all political prisoners. All power to the people.
It's now time for America to wake up.
Revolution is not a spectator sport. Silence is a noise too.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
A New York grandfather will be allowed to keep his customs license plate after the New York Department of Motor Vehicles had deemed it objectionable. Seth Bukowski's custom license plate PB4WeGo is a lighthearted reminder before a road trip. But last month he got a letter from the DMV saying he must destroy the plate and replace it with a new standard one. Bukowski pushed back. He took to social media and called on state officials to reconsider. The story caught the attention of Governor Kathy Hochul, who intervened on his behalf. Hochul called Bukowski her scalp to apologize for the inconvenience and gave him the good news that he would be allowed to keep the plate. Well, it's kind of like, I guess, a road trip in a way of like maybe, you know, you've got to keep cautions, and maybe he's reminding people of that license plate. But road trip, spring break around the corner. Are you guys planning on taking any road trips, going anywhere?
I'm not. I'm just heading home. I'll be taking a road trip back home to Cleveland, 3.5 hours, but not too big of a road trip.
Yeah.
So.
What about
also
you?
Get to spend it on the lakes of Lake Erie, banks of Lake Erie. You go into Cleveland, MAC tournament. We'll be
Very
there.
nice. Since you guys are in Ohio, hoping maybe this weather can kind of look up a little bit, maybe warmer temperatures for you guys?
Yeah, I'm hoping that these warm temperatures are going to stick around, but unfortunately, as we head into next week, warm temperatures are going to dwindle out a little bit, but as we head into the later next week, we do see those warm temperatures possibly coming back. But this morning, we woke up to a little bit of wet ground because we saw some rain, snow mix overnight. But all of that cleared out along with the clouds that it brought with it. And today was a pretty beautiful day as we saw things a little bit cooler, as we saw temperatures in the mid-40s, but that sunshine made it feel real nice. As we head into this evening, though, temperatures still pretty cool, so make sure you're grabbing your jacket if you have any plans tonight, with temperatures around that freezing mark still. But as we head into the 7-day forecast, or as we head into tomorrow, we're seeing those temperatures continuing to warm up tomorrow as we see things up near the 60 mark tomorrow. But we do have the potential for a little bit of freezing frog tomorrow morning, as we see it very limited in places, but likely unlikely. But as we head to this weekend, Saturday, super beautiful, sunny skies up in the mid-60s. And as we head to next week, temperatures warming up as we head towards next Thursday to get in the 60s again.
Well, looks like it'll be a nice weekend out, but that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for watching. For Tyler Zyro and Grant Keeper, I'm Parker Davis. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next.
The soaring voices of Il Volo return to the stage, and you can be there for an unforgettable night. The trio performed